Don't.
Stop.
Don't touch
Okay.
me.
Shower! What is wrong with you?
Hey, hold on.
This officer just groped this woman, and his supervisor would tell him off completely.
Stop. Time out. Go back there.
On January 5th, 2019, Louisville police officers stopped a vehicle and removed the occupants on suspicion of drugs. But things quickly escalated when a trainee officer searched the female occupant.
You don't care about checking out, do you? Hey, hold on. Stop. Time out. Go back there. Ma'am, do you have anything on you?
No.
Okay. Can you do me a favor? Just hang tight right here, okay?
Can I just shut the door?
Yeah. You can shut the door and let. Is that your daughter?
He's training.
He's training.
Yeah, he's supposed to call a woman to really actually pat it down.
It's with male officers. It's supposed to be the back of the hand.
Yeah.
So as soon as he did it wrong.
The officer used his palm to run through the woman's body, and her discomfort was enough to force the supervisor to relieve him and apologize.
Ma'am, listen to me. Ma'am, can you turn around?
I'm sorry.
No, it's
It's
okay.
just the way he did.
He's a new officer. I'm training him.
Put his fingers.
That's why.
I'm sorry. I thought only a female.
No.
I don't have anything on me.
Ma'am.
Only a female officer was.
Males can search females, but we're supposed to use the back of our
That's
hands.
a violation right
So
there.
that's why as soon as I saw him, I stopped him, told him to go to the back of the car. Okay? It's all being recorded. I want to let you know that. I want to reassure you of that. Okay? Is that your daughter in the car?
That's my niece.
Niece? All right. I know she's probably a little worried. If you want to let her know everything's okay. All right. You okay, ma'am?
Violated.
Listen.
It was just, I've never had nobody.
I know.
It was awkward.
As soon as I saw it, that's why I stopped him. And I want to personally apologize to you, okay?
Yes.
I want to personally apologize.
The woman eventually sued the city, alleging the trainee officer groped her buttocks, and she was ultimately given a $50,000 settlement. But the next officer manhandled a naked woman.
You have absolutely no clothes on?
No! I'm in the f***ing shower! What is wrong with you?
And his partner would ensure he lost his job. On March 25th, 2015, a woman named Esmeralda Rossi was having a shower in her home when her daughter informed her of two officers at the door. Rossi grabbed a towel and met the officers, who confirmed they were investigating an alleged domestic dispute between Rossi and her estranged husband, who wasn't in the house. So she informed the officers to wait at the door so she could get her phone. But Officer Doug Rose ran after her, telling her to stop or risk getting arrested, which is when Rossi's daughter began recording.
Do you want to go to jail tonight?
I
I'll take her to jail tonight.
No, for
and
what?
I'll get statements from those two
What?
over there when I get back over there, okay?
No, you will not. No, you will not.
You
I'm
were
not
under
doing
arrest.
anything. I didn't want to touch him.
Please.
Don't touch me. Don't
Put your
touch me.
hands.
What is wrong with you?
I didn't want to touch you.
You have absolutely no clothes on?
No! I'm in the f***ing shower! What is wrong with you? These always
Get your mom some clothes.
I didn't want to touch you.
Go get your mom some clothes.
I didn't want to touch you.
After the incident, the other officer who was against Rossi's arrest immediately contacted his supervisor to raise questions about Rose's actions, as it was determined that Rose never charged the woman with a crime, never documented her arrest, and also failed to turn on his body cam camera. He retired in the middle of his department's investigation and was arrested.
I felt helpless. And honestly, I felt
Ultimately, Rossi sued the city of Arizona for the arrest and won a $125,000 settlement. But the next officer's inhumane actions towards a woman would get him arrested and sent to prison.
You finished?
In January 2015, Las Vegas police officer Richard Scavone arrived at a strip to arrest a female for allegedly loitering, but things escalated very quickly.
Hey!
What?
Come over here! Get on. Put your hand behind your back.
So what do you?
I got the taser out. Put your hand behind your back. Put your palms together.
How am I supposed to put my palms together if you got my hand?
That's it.
All right.
That's it. I'm gonna dump you on the floor in a minute. Hell, you think you're talking to? Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? Talking to me? Straight your feet.
My feet are straight. Why do you have your hands on my back? Get the fuck for me. You doing all, I don't give a so what? Take me out to take me to down. You doing all this extra shit for what? Sit.
Get on your stomach. On your stomach. Had enough? You finished? You finished? CP 31468.
I don't care because there's a camera right down on the hotel.
You finished? You finished fighting me? Are you finished or no? Stand here, shut up. Understand me? Or no?
I heard you.
Don't move. 468. One time D Martin, south of Tropicana. What else you want to do, tough guy?
Go ahead and take me to jail. That's all I want you to do.
You got it. What do you got here?
That's fine. Don't touch my damn, what the
Ever pull away from me?
Everything is being recorded. You're using me for no reason. And you know that. I'm not doing shit.
Ever pull away from me? Understand me? Out.
Get off of me!
Take it out.
Don't touch my what the
What else you got?
Get off of me!
What else you got?
Get off of my You're in my God, what the
Reach your anything while I'm talking to you.
Get off of me!
Finished? You finished?
Stop!
In the car. In the car.
Oh my God!
You're gonna what? What are you gonna do?
What are you doing?
In the car.
The woman was initially charged with littering and loitering, but those charges were dismissed, and she sued the police department for excessive force, eventually winning a $200,000 settlement for permanent injuries to her face, teeth, neck, and back. Officer Richard, who was an 8-year police officer, was fired from the police force as the first officer dismissed for conduct revealed on body camera footage. He was sentenced to 1 year in prison, 1 year of supervised release, a $20,000 fine, and 300 hours of community service. However, after his release, he was hired as a security guard at a bar, where he punched a patron in the face, causing serious injury that required a metal plate. He was charged with 2 counts of assault with intent to cause physical injury. But this officer was so creepy that he locked himself in his squad car just to get some action with a female suspect.
Sir, step out of the vehicle for me.
If you're enjoying this video, please like and subscribe. On August 14th, 2023, San Diego police officers were called to an ongoing car theft incident involving a male and female suspect. And while one officer transported the male to jail, Officer Anthony Hare was tasked with transporting the female to jail. But those plans would change pretty quickly.
Why are you asking that? What do you mean? I'm cool to you.
Not bad. What is it gonna hurt me if I were just looking at that? You know what I mean? Like, that's what I think. If I were in your shoes, I'd head south on Denver Street. If you're recording my car,
Me? Once in a while. Whatever. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I remember. Of course. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you're not. Don't say that right now. I said don't say that right now because everything's being recorded right now. What's going on?
Both the officer and the female suspect engaged in rather suggestive conversations, but everything was still going according to plan. However, something interesting soon happened. Minutes into the drive, Officer Anthony turned off his body camera and got off the road onto a street corner where he parked. It wasn't immediately clear why he did this, but 20 minutes later, he would call another officer claiming that he had locked himself in the back seat with the female suspect, and an hour later, another officer would let him out.
All right, sir, step out of the vehicle for me. 114 yellow. What code for? Everything just went wrong. Okay, hold on. Let me turn my camera off. She's code 4?
She's code 4.
Okay. Yeah, let me turn this off real quick.
Being locked in the back seat of his own cruiser with a skimpily dressed female suspect for over an hour wasn't a good look for Officer Hare, so investigators questioned him on his actions, and he claimed she was having a medical emergency, so he went over to help her and mistakenly locked himself in.
Okay, you mind just showing us?
How you did? So then I was like this, and then you want me to see how she was laying down, or
How you ended up inside?
so like yeah, so she was laying down, her face was over there, and then I was just like kind of right here. I was like, hey, well, at first I was like, hey, wake up. I was like, hey, you okay? Blah blah blah. She did like, so her head was facing towards that way, and then so then this is when I was shaking her, and then this is when I went in, but then I don't know if I had my hand like this, and then something like that happened, and I kicked it with my foot like that, and then I was in, and then that's I was waking her up like this. I was like this, waking her up. While I was waking her up, I hear the door click behind me.
Okay.
Yeah. And then so yeah, I was like this. And then when I found out the door was clicked behind me, I positioned myself like this. And I already knew that there was no door handle, but I was just like frantic. I was like, I can't get out of here.
Okay.
And then that's when she was able to sit up here. And then I told her, you can stay there, blah blah blah. And then I was just like hunkered down like this on my side.
So
Turning off his body cam, parking at a dark residential street, and then entering the other side to get the female medical help seemed heavily suspicious of Officer Anthony, as investigators eventually found traces of on his belt. He refused to participate in a subject officer interview and resigned from the department shortly after. However, this officer decided to perform his creepy desires in front of his own camera. In August 2017, Trooper Isaiah Lloyd initially stopped a vehicle for the driver's failure to wear a seatbelt, but then requested that she step out on suspicion of impairment.
I do no nothing. Swear to God.
The officer spent 15 seconds frisking the woman's lower region, even though she only had tights on. He performed his field sobriety tests and then released her with a ticket. But 3 hours later, he waited near her home and pulled her over again, this time claiming her window tint was too dark and accusing her of reckless driving. Eventually, the woman sued the officer for stalking and groping her. Police department said his actions were inconsistent with training, but didn't require any charges against him. But this officer took his creepy behavior one step further by shooting adult content with an OnlyFans model.
No.
On May 8, 2024, Nashville police observed a sexually explicit video spreading online starring their police officer Sean Herman and an OnlyFans model.
Good evening, ma'am. I'm also you know where I pulled you over?
No.
Alright, well I got you going 65 and I'm 45 back there, okay? You have your license and registration on you?
I actually don't have it in this car, but what if I show you these?
Just then, the woman pulled down her top and Officer Sean groped her on camera. The police department determined that it wasn't an actual traffic stop, but they also determined that Officer Sean was on duty at the time of making the video and was also wearing his police uniform with his badge on display. So he was fired the next day and arrested for 2 counts of felony official misconduct for taking part in the adult video. But this cop's lust for women was so bad that his fellow officers had to slam him to the ground.
Yo, you're not gonna come in my face, bro.
Back up.
On December 5th, 2023, officers were dispatched to a gentleman's club after a man refused to leave and became confrontational with security.
Okay.
He's walking up to him and doing something. He didn't do.
Okay, well, you're gonna leave.
This pussy right here. Yeah.
Alright.
Whoa, what did we do to you, bro? We just got here.
Talk to you, bro. So we good?
Sorry.
We good.
Did we call Uber?
Huh?
Can we? I'm asking him. Yeah, can we call Uber?
Yup. Because guess what? I've been on this job longer than you've been on this job.
Okay, are we gonna call Uber? They don't want you on the property anymore.
We good?
Huh?
Then you need to leave.
Alright.
Okay, go ahead.
Charlie 701.
What you gonna do?
You're gonna leave. That's what's gonna happen. Really?
401 Northwest.
Yes.
401 North.
If that's the route you want to go, I promise you. And then you'll take the ride to county too. Really?
Copy 51 from 2700 block of Parker.
I'll just have you leave.
Do you have your phone on you?
Obviously we're not, because you're coming out of this specific way, right? We're trying to ask you to leave politely, instead you want to go, he hasn't been able to leave. You're antagonizing it. Why? We just want you to leave, bro. That's all we want.
All Detective Richard Velasquez needed to do was walk away and get a ride home, but his superiority complex would only ensure the night ended very badly for him.
You have your phone on you, sir? To call the Uber? Yo, you're not gonna come in my face, bro.
Back up.
Sorry, medics. You heard? Sorry, medics, these cuffs don't fit.
I got flex stuff here. Grab them out of my back.
In the police report, the officer who body slammed Richard reported that he reached into his left pocket, where he noticed a black clip which potentially could have been a concealed firearm, hence the tackle. But even with a bleeding head, Richard still resisted the officers, who would gladly add to his pain.
Alright, take it. Whatever. You don't want to listen. Back up. Back up. Stop resisting.
109 hours.
I want to go. Let it back up. I'm ready. Come on. Hit him again. Ready?
Stop.
Hold on. There you go.
Stop trying
He's back landline now after disconnecting. We're trying to get a better 20.
He was tased multiple times and afterwards charged with disorderly intoxication, trespassing, and resisting an officer without violence. But this officer took rejection too far as he beat up and kidnapped his ex-girlfriend for not taking him back.
I was a good cop, man. And meet some ruin my life, man.
On December 26, 2022, Florida police officers were called by a woman claiming she saw a man dragging a woman by her hair across the street.
So you were sitting there, you heard them arguing and screaming. You saw him dragging her across the street. Was he dragging her towards the car, or was he dragging her away? Away from the truck. Okay.
So by the time I got it, and
how was he dragging her? By her hair?
By her hair.
Okay, so white male dragging her by her hair. You heard an argument. That's all you heard.
I didn't hear the argument. I heard the screaming.
You heard the screaming, and all you saw was a male, a white male dragging her by the hair over there. And then Why did she stop? Why did he stop dragging her?
Because I screamed.
You screamed, okay.
I
And
told
then
him to let her go.
at that point, what happened?
He let her go.
Okay.
And then she ran in that direction.
And then he got into his truck and left?
And then he left.
Okay.
The officers tracked the victim down and discovered that the suspect was Jacksonville Sheriff's Officer Deke Brooker, who happened to be her ex-boyfriend, on whom she had a no-contact order. He punched and strangled her and then dragged her across the street. And with his identity confirmed, officers were able to track him down.
Cross your feet. Do not move. How do you get? I got your back.
Alright, go ahead. Walk me up. Do it. Yeah, okay. You got not out here for some misdemeanor bull. No!
What are you yelling about?
Dude, I cannot go back to jail, man. Come on, man. I'm gonna lose everything, bro. My house, everything. You have to let me out. Let me talk to your lieutenant, please. I need to talk to your commander. I cannot go back, man. I have to make money for my kids, man. I have 4 kids, bro. Come on. I can't go back to jail, man. Let me out, bro. I was a good person, man. Lived my life right. Made good money. Became the police because I wanted to go into narcotics. Go into narcotics. Do a good job of it. Meet this. Put bags in jail. Killers. Killing people. Manslaughter. All this. Meet some. Now here I am. Man, I've done good for the community. I've done good for the people. Saved lives. Been in some pursuit after pursuit after pursuit. I was a good cop, man. And meet some. Ruin my life, man. I ain't giving you a hard time, bro. I ain't giving your commander a hard time, but it's bullshit. This is heartbreaking, man. I gave up so much for this fucking career, man. And here I am.
He was charged with domestic battery and tampering with a witness, and was eventually sentenced to 75 days in jail and 48 months of probation. But these officers wanted to punish these women for soiling their ego, and they would do whatever it took.
Detained me
Yes.
for being in a car.
Yes, because of the way you're acting. You need to go over there.
No, I'm on a public beach. I'm on a public.
In August 2020, South Carolina police arrived at the beach after a call of an indecently dressed woman.
So, why is it illegal to have a bikini on the beach?
I literally wear this to the beach every day.
I want us to show you. We're going to show
Okay,
you.
absolutely. Did someone complain?
Yeah.
I mean, we don't just show up and tell everybody we just don't show up and throw people in handcuffs.
I understand.
Turn right to it. Nudity display specific, nominable parts, specific sexual areas prohibited. Shall be unlawful for any person to appear in the nude on any public beach access to the public waters or any public property in the view of the public.
I'm not
So
nude.
nobody's nude. There's nobody nude right now.
I'm not nude.
Okay, you're in a thong.
No, okay.
Thong is not
Thong
nude.
is not nude. All right. And of are nude. All right. Just and are nudity. A thong is not nudity. Okay. All right. Having your exposed is not against the law, as long as it is not explicit manner. No, I'm serious.
You put me in handcuffs for being in a car.
As long as it's not explicit manner, and there's nothing explicit about this.
Where did you read where it says anything about I just read it.
Okay, nude, in the nude. This is not considered nudity. There is clothing covering their private parts.
Do you know what anatomical areas are?
I do know what anatomical areas are.
Expression of the
No, it's not. Okay, well then there's other girls that have their exposed. So do the same thing to them. Go put them in handcuffs. It's simple. Like if just because she has a bikini that is more revealing does not mean that she's in the wrong. There are other bikinis. Like look, I can see her.
Every bikini on this shows why you're not illegal. Nothing in there says thong. Any quote unquote private parts are not uncovered. Or, yeah, none of our private parts are uncovered.
Where does it say? It doesn't say that. It says nudity.
I'm not nude.
There's no nudity going on here.
No, you're detained right now.
Because I don't. You literally detained me for being in a thong.
Yes, because of the way you're acting.
No.
How was she acting? She did not act irrationally.
No, I think you should. Yeah. Then what? You're just gonna sit here and argue with us? Why? Because you don't like the way we're dressed?
No, wait for
Okay.
The officers themselves didn't seem sure of the arrest and suggested that her resistance earlier bruised their ego and was the reason they wanted to keep her detained. And even their supervisor wasn't so sure of the arrest.
They come and told us that we're nude and that we can't be nude on the beach. We're not nude. I asked him to show me where it says like we're a thong. He said no. He told me that he wouldn't show me, and I said okay, then we're done here. And then he put me in cuffs immediately. And then after that, they brought me over here, showed me their book, which doesn't say anything about being in a thong. It just says you can't be nude. So, I am not nude. Everything that is a quote-unquote private part is covered. You can't tell me I can't wear a thong. So, here's
the thing. If you have on a thong, Bob.
Hey, been detained right now for wearing a thong on the beach.
Okay, great.
She asked me to call you. It's her and Kendall.
With the exposure of anatomical parts, like what she has on, nothing she's not doing, that you can't count.
But you can't tell us that. Anatomical parts could be my belly button. You can't just make things up at your discretion.
Listen, I'm not making. I'm telling you what the city ordinance is. Anatomical. I'm not just saying, hey, anatomical parts. That's what the city ordinance is.
Anatomical parts means a part of your body.
Right.
You can literally say it's anything.
Listen, but what she has on is not.
It's also not. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. It's not being displayed in an explicit manner.
Okay.
Okay. I'm with them. No.
No way. Okay. Yeah.
He's not going away. No.
So, let me go pull the city ordinance for it. Give me just a minute. Get everything printed out, and I will show it to you. You cannot be out here with a thong. You have to have one cover. It's actually $120 off the gate. Let me go get everything pulled up. Am I all right to take her out? Are you going to cooperate? Are you going to run away?
She's been cooperating.
I'm not going to run away.
The supervisor spent over 8 minutes looking for a code to validate his deputy's actions and claims, but he still couldn't come up with anything substantial, especially because it applied to everyone else on the beach.
Every other woman in here, because I can see her hair, I can see literally all of these girls' butts. I can see a lot.
Well, here's the difference. See how it's covered up still?
That girl in the white's just about the same amount. Her butt is mine.
That's what's going on.
So
you have to have a cover.
Are there measurements? Yeah. Is there a size? Or are we just making arbitrary?
You cannot be exposed in that sense. Like I said, when they're wearing perfectly.
Can you give us anything that's a better guideline, like an inches?
It's about an inch more than mine.
They're in bathing suits that are covering up majority of their behinds or whatever.
No, but they're not though. They might be an inch more than mine.
Well, then you have to put on something. You cannot have a thong on this thing because it's exposed.
But why is there?
So what's considered a thong? Because that's a Brazilian cut bikini.
We're not getting Brazilian cuts.
Well, it does matter because if I'm going to go buy a bikini, I would like to know if I can wear it.
But our ordinance just says.
Okay, so then that's over there. So
Okay. Yeah, it could be literally. This is my butt hanging out. That's what we're going to say.
That's what it is.
Could be hanging out.
That's what it is.
So that's out too. So out too.
And that's what he's addressing.
Okay, so are we going to talk? Are we going to talk to every woman on the beach right now
and decide? Like, can we bring them over and then decide what an appropriate term is?
We're not going to debate this back and forth. It is. I clearly told you what it means and what it is.
The girls were eventually allowed to leave without a citation. But this cop knew he'd be accused of doing something creepy, so he did this instead.
Stop! Don't touch me!
I can search you, and that's what I'm doing.
Don't get off me!
Okay. No one's groping you. There's a little camera right there. Pay attention to it.
On July 25th, 2016, Amanda Hooten called police after she was rear-ended by another car. But upon arrival, the officers suspected she was intoxicated and performed field sobriety tests on her before arresting her for DUI.
Yeah, I'm going to place you under arrest for DUI. Stop. Yes. Put your hands behind your back. Stop. Don't make things worse, okay? Cooperate with them. Stop turning around. Hold still, okay?
Amanda claimed she didn't drink alcohol and was just shaken from the crash, but the real problem came when the officer patted her down.
All right, stop right here. Go ahead, widen your stance for me, keep your feet up. Do you have anything illegal on you?
No,
okay, I said stay there for a minute. Stay there! Okay, I said stay there. You guys should be. Okay, they're here.
I was trying to make things lighter.
Okay. Well, you're not, all right? And your balance is really poor.
Because I'm in shock, I'm shaking.
You have some other physical characteristics which are indicative of a controlled substance being
Can I ask what that is?
Yes, your eyes. Your eyes lead the way.
Don't.
Stop.
Don't touch me.
I can search you, and that's what I'm doing. You do not pull away from me.
Here. You put me with my husband here.
Hey, I'm going to search you whether you like it or not. No,
you don't get a trophy.
Okay. No one's groping you. There's a little camera right there. Pay attention to it. Okay, don't pull away from me again. No, I won't. Alright. What I want you to do is I want you to come over here on the curb and have a seat.
Have a cigarette?
No.
Amanda sued the city, claiming the officer groped her and wrongfully arrested her for DUI after a blood draw at the jail and hospital came back negative for traces of drugs or alcohol. The police department released a statement saying the department has only 3 female police officers and that the officer broke no laws. If you like this video, YouTube thinks you'll enjoy these too.